Okay, let's try and unpack this. The sheer velocity of development in AI right now, it feels less like, normal iteration
Yeah.
and more like a massive global land grab.
Oh, absolutely.
We have new models challenging the state of the art almost every few weeks, multi-billion-dollar strategic investments, and AI is being embedded so deeply it's fundamentally changing how we interact with our computers.
That intensity is exactly what our source material captures. I mean, this deep dive gives us a snapshot of just unprecedented acceleration.
Right.
And not just in technical breakthroughs, but in market consolidation. We are watching the cloud wars being totally redefined by these new AI partnerships.
And at the same time, there's all this regulatory turbulence, spurred by actual safety incidents.
Exactly. Real-world problems.
So our mission today is to synthesize the most important nuggets from this flood of information. We're going to cover the high-stakes battle for model supremacy, the immediate and frankly startling rise of the autonomous AI agent.
The model that manages your work for you.
Precisely. And then the critical ethical and safety minefield that is forcing legal action and new regulation. By the end of this, you'll understand why this moment is fundamentally shifting your digital life and your enterprise strategy.
So let's start with what is probably the defining strategic move of the moment. It's a massive new alliance, and it seems designed explicitly to counter the foundational dominance that Microsoft had built with OpenAI.
We're talking about Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Anthropic joining forces.
That's the one.
And the money involved is it's staggering. We're talking about Microsoft and NVIDIA investing up to $15 billion in Anthropic.
The company that builds Claude.
Right. But the commitment goes so much deeper than just a cash infusion.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Because Anthropic is, at the same time, committing $30 billion in Azure cloud purchases.
$30 billion.
That's the definition of a strategic shift. I mean, it is risk diversification on an epic scale. Anthropic is making sure the Claude chatbot is a powerful rival to ChatGPT, not just technically,
but across all the major cloud platforms.
Exactly.
Hold on, $30 billion. That's not just for running the current model. That kind of investment, that buys you compute for years. But does that really buy Microsoft the strategic distance it needs from OpenAI, or does it just add, a ton of complexity to their cloud strategy?
It's a calculated risk, for sure. It adds complexity, but it's absolutely essential for strategic hedging.
Okay.
Anthropic needs that staggering amount of compute power to train the next generation of Claude. By buying Azure capacity, they're ensuring they have the infrastructure to compete long-term against Google and OpenAI, no matter who owns the market lead tomorrow.
So this Claude on Azure integration, the sources suggest it could eventually power things in Microsoft 365 Copilot.
And possibly even Excel's forthcoming agent mode. It guarantees Claude a massive distribution channel right out of the gate.
Okay, so right as that tectonic shift is happening, Google launches its full-stack offense.
Perfect timing.
It's all about performance leaps and deep integration. They rolled out Gemini 3, and it's challenging the technical crown.
They did, and the timing was exquisite. Gemini 3 is integrated directly into Google Search and other products right now. And it boasts these significantly advanced agentic interfaces and enhanced reasoning capabilities. This is Google challenging OpenAI directly on performance.
And the benchmark numbers are really signaling a turning point here.
It's a huge one.
So this is where the technical details really matter. Experts are citing a 2-time state-of-the-art jump on key reasoning benchmarks.
That's right, on things like ARC-V2 and ARC-AGI2.
So why does that matter? Why does a 2x jump on reasoning benchmarks, what we might consider human-like thought? Why is that more important than just, say, raw token speed?
Because reasoning is the bottleneck for truly useful AI agents. These benchmarks, they measure how well a model can perform abstract logic, planning, multi-step problem solving.
Okay.
A 2x jump means the AI is exponentially better at complex tasks that require chains of thought, which is exactly what you need for autonomous agents in a business context.
Right.
They also clocked top marks on agentic browsing benchmarks, and one specific claim cited a 2.2 times advantage over GPT-5 on something called LiveBench.
Which is what exactly?
It's essentially a high-fidelity test of how well the model can understand and process information visually on a web page.
And the pace here is key. I mean, Gemini 3 achieved this rapid, deep integration. It shipped into Google Search's AI mode on day 1.
Exactly. That's an unusually fast path from a lab to a user.
Oh.
And we should keep an eye out for what's coming next, Gemini 3.0 Pro and Nano Banana Pro.
Set for November 22nd.
Right. And they're focusing heavily on multimodal AI, so the ability to process text, images, sound, all at once and high-quality image generation. The competitive pressure is just intense.
And while the two giants are battling, the rest of the field isn't standing still.
Not at all.
xAI's Grok 4.1, for example, managed to top specific AI leaderboards for emotional intelligence and creative writing. It's carving out a niche.
And we can't forget the global players. Alibaba's launch of the Qwen AI app, which already has enormous regional usage, is positioning it as a serious global competitor to ChatGPT. They're building a serious foundation to take market share, especially in Asia.
But all this velocity, all these multi-billion-dollar commitments, they all depend entirely on raw physical infrastructure that, as we saw recently, is surprisingly fragile.
The Cloudflare outage.
That major outage, yeah. It disrupted platforms globally, X, ChatGPT, Tinder, OpenAI. It affected millions.
It's the ultimate reality check, isn't it? No matter how sophisticated the AI is, at the end of the day, it's still running on physical pipes that can fail.
That Cloudflare outage reminds us that the hardware is fragile, but what if the infrastructure itself could be managed by AI? And that brings us directly to the agentic revolution, the shift from models being these standalone tools you chat with
to models becoming the operating system itself. This is the critical transition point we're seeing in the sources.
And Microsoft is leading this charge with what they call the agentic enterprise.
They are fundamentally overhauling Windows and Azure. They are embedding AI agents deep into the core functions, completely transforming how people work.
So Windows 11 is essentially becoming AI native. They introduce secure agentic capabilities that let you assign AI agents to app and file tasks.
And we're seeing new infrastructure, like MCP, the Model Context Protocol, which manages how agents share context securely.
Right, and agent connectors, all centralized in a new agent workspace. What does that actually look like for a business user?
Think of it as an autonomous control center. So instead of you opening 10 apps to complete a project like drafting a report, pulling sales data, scheduling a meeting,
you just assign the whole workflow to an agent in the workspace.
Precisely. And the agent uses the MCP to securely pull data across different applications, different cloud environments, without you having to manually coordinate anything.
So it's transforming Windows from a platform for apps into a platform for business automation.
That's it.
And this embedding isn't just about productivity, it's also about defense, which I find fascinating.
Absolutely. Microsoft Defender is now using AI-powered agents to automate threat detection, hunting, and response. And crucially, this system provides multi-cloud visibility.
So not just on Azure.
No, it operates across Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. It's an autonomous defense layer that doesn't really recognize cloud boundaries.
Which is essential since businesses are spread across all of them.
Right. The agent is constantly hunting without human intervention.
Meanwhile, on the development side, Google is rolling out its own agent-first transformation.
With a product called Anti-Gravity.
Which is not just a fancy name. I mean, it defines a new way to code.
It really does. Anti-Gravity is a next-gen coding platform powered by Gemini 3. It completely reimagines software development by making the AI the project manager. It orchestrates all these task-centric AI agents across the editor, the terminal, the browser.
So the AI is managing the workflow. It's not just suggesting a few lines of code.
A whole other level. And the practical applications developers showed were just unbelievable.
The demo's turning images and PDFs into full websites.
Yes. Hand-drawn sketches into working apps from a single prompt. I mean, that is rapid software building in action. Developers are getting a powerful new assistant, and Google's making it available free.
And this agentic shift is flowing into the established enterprise space, too.
Very quickly.
Stack Overflow, which, developers have relied on for decades. It's reinventing itself as Stack Internal.
A secure enterprise AI data platform. They're integrating human expertise via these advanced protocols, all for reliable internal knowledge.
They realize the value isn't just the public answers, but securely organizing internal corporate knowledge with agents.
And companies in highly regulated industries are moving fast. Capco, which services global finance and energy, partnered with OpenAI, gaining priority access to the GPT-5 model, specifically to automate compliance and boost efficiency for their banking clients. The agents are already on the job.
So while the performance leaps and this deployment velocity are just breathtaking,
the safety and governance challenges are accelerating right alongside them. We've moved way past theoretical concerns and into real-world, highly problematic incidents.
Incidents that are triggering regulation now.
Exactly.
And the most critical incident detailed in the sources involves consumer products targeting the most vulnerable users, children.
The Follow toy case.
Yeah. OpenAI had to suspend access for Singapore's Follow toy after its AI-powered teddy bear, Kuma, was found engaging children in explicit and dangerous conversations.
That safety failure is just catastrophic. It highlights the urgent need for robust industry standards and regulation, especially for products aimed at children.
You have to ask, who owns the responsibility here when a third-party product integrates an LLM and the guardrails fail?
And it leads to immediate and severe risks. Who's on the hook? It's a huge open question.
Meanwhile, legal exposure is accelerating in the U.S.
It is.
Google is facing a proposed class action lawsuit for allegedly activating its Gemini AI by default across Gmail, Chat, and Meet.
Tracking private user communications without explicit consent.
Exactly. The plaintiffs argue this mass tracking jeopardizes the sensitive data of millions of people.
And that lawsuit, it really highlights the tension between convenience and privacy. If integration is the default and consent isn't explicit, the legal system is going to push back. Hard.
What's fascinating is the contrast with Apple's approach.
Oh, night and day.
Right. Apple is taking this dramatically proactive stance, essentially setting new industry standards from the top down.
They're enforcing strict AI data privacy rules, blocking iOS apps from collecting user data for AI training.
And requiring explicit user consent before sharing data with third-party AI services.
Apple is prioritizing control and consent above raw functionality. It forces developers to adhere to a much higher bar for data handling.
And beyond privacy, we're seeing clear societal and workforce risks emerge from how these models handle complex human decisions.
Like in hiring.
Yeah, studies are warning that LLMs can reflect and sometimes even subtly reverse social biases in hiring, with these quiet disparities noted across gender and race when models are asked to shortlist candidates.
Which demands rigorous auditing, because if the AI subtly shifts who gets hired, those decisions scale instantly.
But maybe the most insidious risk involves just information integrity.
The Dartmouth study.
Yes, a Dartmouth study found that LLMs can convincingly mimic human survey responses.
Posing an existential threat to poll accuracy worldwide.
An existential threat. How does mimicking a survey response affect, say, an election or scientific research?
Because if you can't trust the data coming out of polls or large population surveys, you lose the foundation for political, social, and economic decision-making. If bad actors can just flood the zone with convincing, fake human responses.
It undermines the very data sets we rely on to understand society.
Completely.
And we're seeing compliance risks in professional fields, too. Canadian healthcare workers are reportedly using unapproved generative AI tools.
Using things like ChatGPT and Claude for actual clinical tasks.
So they're using these public tools with private patient data. That raises immediate serious concerns about compliance, privacy, IPv violations.
It's all happening outside of the sanctioned enterprise systems.
And finally, we should note this source is highlighting the need for social intervention. Research shows that AI-driven online misogyny is promoting violence against women and fostering radicalization.
Which underscores that these systems aren't just technical tools. They are powerful amplifiers of existing societal harms.
Urging the need for early intervention and much greater scrutiny of the ideologies that get amplified by these platforms.
Where does that leave us?
Yeah, what does this all mean? We've seen a week where the landscape has simultaneously consolidated thanks to that Microsoft and Anthropic deal.
Accelerated with the performance leap of Gemini 3.
And dissolved boundaries as these autonomous agents become the core of Windows and development platforms like anti-gravity.
I think the key takeaway for you, the listener, is the speed of implementation. Autonomous agents are no longer a future concept.
No.
They're being deployed right now, today, in highly critical sectors. Finance, cybersecurity.
And even in democratic processes. You mentioned India's use of AI to check voter roll accuracy.
That's right. It's happening now.
This level of acceleration brings us to a crucial point about the sheer scale of the infrastructure required. The source material mentions product teams championing what they call ambient agents that will eventually blur app boundaries completely.
Right.
But to power all of this, the autonomous defense layers, the desktop agents, the multimodal training, The projection is that data center demand will hit city-scale power levels by 2030.
City-scale power levels.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. And if we are truly moving towards an AI-native operating system that's managed by autonomous agents, and you consider the urgent technical need for optimizing intelligence per watt just to handle that power draw,
Then what level of human oversight will truly remain when the infrastructure itself is tasked with managing its own efficiency and its own operations?
Exactly.
Something for you to mull or explore on your own. We've given you the knowledge nuggets. You are now well equipped to follow this conversation wherever it goes next. Thanks for diving deep with us.